Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is Ash Quest, and I'm overly excited to show you the Warhammer Quest Warrior Priest Warrior Pack, a complete warrior pack for Warhammer Quest. I've done a few of these on the channel now, and if you are interested in seeing the Chaos Warrior, Pit Fighter, or Witch Hunter Warrior packs for Warhammer Quest, the 1995 edition, then those videos are up. The Warrior Priest is basically a character expansion for Warhammer Quest. With this expansion, you get a complete set of roleplay rules and abilities for this character and his unique abilities as well as restrictions. Warhammer takes a bit of a transformative approach, or at least it did back in the day, to adding new characters to your game. You would get something new, but you would get different levels of risk associated with the character. You'd get a complete experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And in my opinion, nobody has quite done it better. This is of course not a toy and is not intended for sale to children under 12, is handcrafted in pewter, made in the USA, and retailed originally for $14.99 USD. Years of grueling training mold warrior priests into men of great faith and courage. They fearlessly wield their mighty warhammers against the foul creatures of darkness, destroying evil in the holy name of Sigmar. Gary Morley designed this model, who incidentally also designed the Pit Fighter and Witch Hunter. This is in contrast to the Chaos Warrior designed by Amy Morrison. Let us now unbox the Warrior Priest and take a look at all of the wonderful things we would have gotten in 1995. When I unboxed the Witch Hunter, the model actually came in a separate blister pack inside of the box, and I kind of wonder if that's how all of these characters originally were distributed. This one did come with a bit of foam, so this might have been with that blister pack. This is the Warrior Priest. The details on the miniature, as always, are fine. Absolutely worthy of paying money for to get as an individual entity versus having it be included with the game. And at this point, having 4 of these metal miniatures as warriors, playable characters for the game, makes me kind of wish that the original 4 heroes were metal as well. His hammer was just a little bit bent, but pewter, being a soft metal, is not hard to shape back into form, so we straightened it out just a little bit. This warrior priest carries a huge holy tome and has a lot of fine details, including his ornate breastplate and his ring of jade. As of the time of this video, Games Workshop just finished a campaign wherein they released the made-to-order warrior priests. This is one of the original 1995 models, not one of the made-to-order. They don't even have, or they didn't even have, made-to-order models that were identical to this one. But they were old world style models, so if you had this character pack but you were lacking the model, I don't see why it would be any issue to grab one of the made-to-order models and use it in its place. I've come to find that people primarily fall into one of 3 groups as far as all of this is concerned. The first group is everything must be original. Goodbye, wallet, as I tried to collect every single miniature for my Warhammer Quest game and my Advanced Hero Quest game. What? They referenced an enemy that's very obscure and vague in the book, and it only has 1 miniature that was released in 1993? Well, to eBay I go to spend $200 on a piece of plastic and or metal. Group 2 is everything is proxiable, and this is the most accessible approach. If you don't have a Witch Hunter, then just grab whatever model is nearby and handy and, well, it fits on the board, actually. And the third group is kit bash everything. Just make your own stuff. Back to the Warrior Priest, he comes with a complete manual, the likes of which we have seen with the other warrior packs, as well as unpunched character card with special rules and equipment cards, as well as warrior token. We're going to punch these out on the channel, and I will let you arbitrarily experience the joy as we take and punch out the components. We are going to use these in the game, so it's not like we have to keep these mint. The Warrior Priest token for use with your other tokens, random drawing of heroes as the need arises. The Ring of Jade. The Warrior Priest may use the Ring of Jade once per turn. At the end of each turn, if the priest is not on 0 wounds or dead, then the ring has a chance of healing him and any warriors who are standing in adjacent squares. This is a very useful, life-saving talisman. The priest rolls 3 dice. If he scores a double, then he heals a number of wounds equal to the total of the double rolled. These wounds are shared out between the priest and any warriors in the same board section. All the points of healing from a single dice must be spent on a single warrior. Declare who you intend to heal before rolling the dice. If you roll a double 1, each warrior nominated for healing suffers 2 wounds with no deductions at all. Gain 5 gold for every wound healed on another warrior. That's an interesting sort of rule addendum. I wonder if that's like a tithe. I rolled double 4s after declaring that I was going to heal the witch hunter who is adjacent to my warrior priest, and so we each are healed by 4 wounds, and the witch hunter, well, he doesn't have to give me 5 gold, so I guess the church gives me 5 gold, or the cult of Sigmar Temple awards me 5 gold as in record of my decree, recognition of my ability in the dungeon. I don't know. It's weird, but it's fun. Holy Book. Blessings. The priest may attempt 1 blessing per turn. He may cast the blessing on himself or any one warrior who is on the same board section. Roll a dice and add the power dice roll for the turn to his score. The blessing will succeed on a total score of 7+. Attempting a blessing does not stop the warrior priest from carrying out any other actions. Rolling a 1. When the warrior priest rolls a 1 for his blessing dice roll, their blessing fails no matter what other modifiers might apply at the time. A 1 is a 1 and always fails. Very consistent rule, and all of the instances I've seen where this is not explicitly mentioned, I think it is a great rule to follow and just say, yeah, if it's a 1, it fails, regardless. The Holy Book contains the following blessings. Scourge of Chaos. The warriors feel their swords guided as if by hands unseen, striking at their foes with accuracy and precision. The affected warrior is at +1 to hit this turn. Call of the Brave. Miraculously, blows that seem sure to miss hit their target, despite the monster's best efforts to avoid the attacks. The affected warrior may re-roll a single missed attack this turn. And Vanquish. The power of Sigmar surges through the warriors who redouble their attacks upon the enemy. The affected warrior gains a +1 attack this turn. And special rules for warrior priests and treasure. A warrior priest may never wear armor or use shields other than his breastplate, and may only use warhammers in combat. He may use treasure, which is normally only for wizards. Spellcasting treasure. Any items that add power to a wizard's spellcasting will add +1 to the priest's blessing dice roll. Each point of power stored in an orb of might, for example, can be used to add +1 to a blessing dice roll. Likewise, if he finds a death stone, then once per adventure he may use any one blessing successfully on a dice roll of 3+, no matter what is rolled in the power phase. Once per adventure, though. And swapping treasure. When a treasure card is first turned over, the priest may swap it for one he doesn't want and can't use. Roll a dice and add +3 to the score. If the priest scores 8 or more in total, then he may swap cards with the player who was going to get the new item. He can only do this if the new card is one he can actually use. In other words, if another player is getting a treasure card and the warrior priest has a treasure card that he can't use and doesn't want to save until the end of the dungeon to sell or whatever, then swapping treasure will allow him to automatically be like, give me, the church says so, if he can use that treasure card. And the warrior priest has wounds of 1d6 +7, a move of 4, like most of the other heroes, I think all the heroes, a weapon skill of 2, a ballistic skill of 5+, a strength of 3, a toughness of 2, 3 with the breastplate, an initiative of 2, and has 1 attack by default. His equipment is the Holy Book and the Ring of Jade. His weapon is the Warhammer, which causes 1d6 +3 wounds. If this priest scores a 6 to hit, then he rolls 2d6 +3 wounds. His armor is the breastplate, giving him +1 toughness. Pinning can be escaped on a roll of 4+, and here is his 2-hit foe table. Compared to the Witch Hunter, he needs to roll a little bit higher to hit enemies of the same weapon skill, at least in many instances. We have the flavor text for the introduction of warrior priests in general. This talks about thousands of years ago, before the empires of man arose. The dwarfs were already an ancient and mighty race, but they were beset on all sides by orc and goblin hordes, and they desperately needed allies to stem the evil green tide. The dwarfs needed help, and they found this help in the form of humans, and the greatest human warrior to join the dwarfs in their anti-greenskin plight was Sigmar, the first son of the chief of the Unberogen tribe. He fought countless battles against the orcs and won the respect of the dwarfs and became known as the mightiest warrior of his time. As a mark of their respect and thanks for his aid, the dwarfs gave Sigmar a mighty magic hammer known as Galmaraz, or Skull Splitter. After his defeat of the orcs at the Battle of Blackfire Pass, Sigmar was crowned king of the lands that now constitute the Empire, uniting the human tribes together into one mighty realm, where he ruled for 50 successive years. He gave up his crown and journeyed east once more to visit the dwarf kingdoms. He was never seen again and passed into legend. But eventually he became worshipped as a god, and the cult of Sigmar, led by the Grand Theogonist, became one of the most powerful religions in the Empire. The cult is based in the great cathedral at Altdorf, and Sigmar is widely recognized as the patron deity of the Empire. Now, the cult of Sigmar has many cathedrals, temples, and churches across the Empire. Most towns or cities will have a temple, and even the smallest village is likely to have some kind of shrine. He is revered by the people and believed to be watching over them still. Ever vigilant against the hated forces of chaos, his priests are seen as physical manifestations of his watchful presence. A warrior priest is a respected figure, and to have a member of one's family accepted into the priesthood is a great honor. Young men from all corners of the empire make the arduous journey to Altdorf to petition the priesthood for one of the coveted places as an initiate in the cult of Sigmar. Those who are accepted are seconded to one of the larger cathedrals or temples to study under the tutelage of the local priests, and their first tasks are menial, tedious, and arduous as they are taught the values of patience, diligence, and selflessness. But after many years' study, an initiate is sent away from his monastery or temple to go forth into the world in the name of Sigmar. With the fires of faith and conviction burning in their veins, these young priests are sent to minister to the people and spread the word of Sigmar and stamp out the taint of chaos wherever it may be found. In Warhammer Quest, you are one of these young priests. You have finished your basic training and have been sent out to find glory and honor in the name of Sigmar. Hence, you find yourself joining the ranks of a band of warriors heading for the caves and dungeons of the World's Edge Mountains. Their motives are largely treasure lust and greed. You like to think your motives are more worthy, although some treasure would be appreciated, of course. As usual, if you are setting out as a warrior priest in the world of Warhammer Quest, there are no changes made to the game's rules other than the rules that you must follow specific to your character. But if you are bringing him along in addition to a group of warriors, then you must adjust the enemies by an equal proportion. And the next couple of pages in the book for the warrior priest are pretty much repeating the same things found on the equipment and character cards. Things that the warrior priest is able to wear, what he is able to do, what kind of abilities he has. But then we go into the advanced rules. And in the advanced rules, the initial blessings of Sigmar can change. Rather than automatically taking the 3 blessings listed for the Warhammer Quest game, you now have a choice. You may either stick with the original 3 blessings, which are Scourge of Chaos, Call of the Brave, and Vanquish, or discard one and take another from the blessings table. You may still only have 3 blessings in your holy book as an initiate, and if you discard one of the 3 already outlined, you must stick with the replacement you roll on the table. The initial 3 blessings are amongst those listed on the blessings table, so it is possible to roll them again. The difference is that in the advanced game, the blessings get more powerful as the warrior priest advances through the battle levels, so they have more detailed rules. If you decide to reselect your blessings when generating a new warrior priest and roll one that you already have, just roll again. You can't roll and get the same blessing again for use a multitude of times or to enhance its strength, although I guess that could be a homebrew rule. In the advanced rules, the warrior priest also has a sacred ring of command, which sometimes gives him a strength bonus when he hits his foes in combat. The priest only gets the strength bonus if he rolls the same as or more than a given score to hit, as indicated by the following table. This bonus improves as the priest advances through the battle levels. The warrior priest may only use certain items of treasure normally associated with the wizard. For example, if a warrior priest finds an energy jewel, which is a dungeon room treasure, magical items number 12, page 69 of the roleplay book, then he rolls for the points of power as usual and may use them up one by one to add +1 to his blessing dice rolls. Some magical items are tailor-made to augment the power of human wizards, and the warrior priest cannot use them at all. Items such as the Talisman of Jet, the Tablet of Adane, the Wand of Jade, the Brooch of Power. In the advanced game, a warrior priest can invoke a number of blessings per turn, governed by his battle level. His battle level table shows how many blessings he may attempt per turn. The actual blessings are listed later on in this book, and their effects change as the warrior priest becomes more powerful. In the advanced rules, the warrior priest is not averse to buying furs. If the weather is inclement, these offer some extra protection as well as warmth. The warrior priest has distinct settlements rules. When the warriors arrive at a settlement, the warrior priest may visit the alchemist, the alehouse, the gambling house, the temple, the armorer, the weaponsmith, the general store, and the animal trader. If any locations have to be found first, then he has to search for them as usual. He may also visit a new special location, the Temple of Sigmar. All the rules for finding a special location in a settlement apply to the Temple of Sigmar. In the Temple of Sigmar, the priest donates gold and treasure to the coffers of the church. This pays for his training when he is deemed ready to receive the next stage of his tutelage. He may do this in one of 2 ways. He can either visit a Temple of Sigmar, if there is one, whenever he visits a settlement, paying in gold what he can afford, or wait until he has the full amount as listed on his battle level table. If he chooses the former route, then the player should keep a note of how much he needs to pay off before he is next trained. The training will take 1 week to complete. The benefits of training for the Warrior Priest are explained later. Those are donations to the Temple of Sigmar, but the Warrior Priest can also donate to the Cult of Sigmar. The priest may make further donations as he dedicates his destroyed foes to Sigmar. This will take some time as the priest will pray for many hours, meditating on the perils he has been through and the dangers yet to come. In exchange for time spent in meditation at the temple, a warrior priest sometimes gains inspiration or supernatural assistance from Sigmar himself in the next adventure that the warriors embark upon. This is resolved by the use of the following table. Basically, the warrior priest may make a donation according to how much spare gold he has. He must roll 2d6, add the dice together, and multiply the result by 50. This shows how much gold he must donate. Once he has done this, roll another 2 dice, add up the scores, and look up the result on the table below. So this could be anywhere from 100 to 600 gold. Rolling an 8 on this table, the prayer table, results in the following. The priest's warhammer is permanently magical, and for the next adventure it is inscribed with powerful runes that add +1 to his toughness. On a 5, the priest gains 1 wound permanently. On a 10, the priest may randomly select 1 blessing. It may only be used once, after which it is gone. It is automatically successful when used. On a 12, the power of Sigmar courses through the priest's veins. For the duration of the next adventure, he may add +1 to any one of his characteristics. And so on. Now, one of the abilities that the warrior priest can start with is Vanquish. The affected warrior will gain +1 attack this turn. And, as stated, the blessings of Sigmar can grow stronger as the warrior priest advances in battle level. Let's read what happens to Vanquish when they get stronger. If the level of the priest is an initiate, the blessing dice roll will have to be a 7+ to affect one warrior and grant them an extra action. But if the warrior priest is a champion, this die roll only has to be 6+. It will affect 2 warriors and grant them each an action. As a hero, this can still be only 6+, will affect 3 warriors, giving them all an extra action, and if the priest is a lord, the dice roll drops down to a 5+, making it easier to succeed at, and will actually affect 4 warriors, giving them all an extra action. Now, when you increase in battle level, it's not like just one of your abilities gets stronger, it's all 3 of the blessings. So Call of the Brave and Scourge of Chaos also get stronger, or whatever other abilities you might get if you've decided to exchange your default blessings. Call of the Brave makes the accuracy of your heroes guaranteed to hit. As an initiate on a blessing dice roll of 7+, this will affect 1 warrior and grant them the ability to re-roll a single attack that missed this turn. Oh, I need to correct myself on something. I was saying action earlier. The effect is an extra attack, not an extra action. Vanquish allows extra attacks specifically. That difference is crucial. When the priest levels up to a champion, this blessing die roll decreases to a 6+, making it easier to obtain. It has the same effect, but as the priest climbs to hero rank, this drops to 5+ and affects 2 warriors. At the rank of Lord, this blessing dice roll just has to be 4+ to affect all 4 warriors. I happen to love this ability. It's too bad it's got to take up one of the blessing slots, but it does make sense if your heroes are just starting out. You may have to escape the dungeon, and escaping the dungeon in Warhammer Quest is no easy feat. Well, with the blessing of Sigmar called Deliverance, even in times of darkest despair, Sigmar will be there to guide the faithful. If the warrior priest is successful in his blessing roll, then any warriors who decide to escape from the dungeon may add the bonus indicated to their dice rolls on the escaping table. I love that it's not a guaranteed escape, it's just adding the bonus to their dice roll. Warhammer Quest is such a dangerous game. As you level up, this will add increments of 1 to the die rolls as a bonus, up to a +4. Finally, we have the roleplay guidelines. Warhammer Quest, it is known as a basic mode of play, an advanced mode of play, and a roleplay mode of play, which makes it one of the most versatile games in anybody's collection. Warrior priests are not easily daunted by the mind-churning horrors that await the warriors in the dungeons below the Warhammer world. They are proud and defiant, stern and calm when all is about chaos. Warrior priests are not renowned for their sense of humor, but a taciturn grin or sardonic joke is not unheard of. Priests are devoted worshippers of Sigmar and will not tolerate his name being taken in vain. A priest's most prized possessions are his holy book, the Ring of Jade, the Ring of Command, and his warhammer, each is a token of the holy symbols of Sigmar. To lose any of these items would cause a warrior priest great shame and distress. Their faith in Sigmar gives warrior priests near magical power, and they spend much time deep in thought and devotion. In terms of characteristic tests, the Priest of Sigmar is a fairly good all-rounder, and we are provided with the Warrior Priest action modifiers here. So these are all for the Warhammer Quest roleplay version of the game, which is included with the basic rule set of the game itself, should you happen upon a copy of Warhammer Quest's 1995 edition, which is the only edition, but there are a couple of other games called Warhammer Quest with different adventure campaigns subtitled. For example, Shadows over Hammerhall, or Silver Tower, or Cursed City, which is a game I still don't have. We get an awesome story, just for flavor, at the end of the book here, and credits, as well as the battle level table. It costs 50,000 gold to get from battle level 9 to battle level 10. Something I didn't realize, or forgot rather, when I was going through the level of the priest, is that that's not his battle level, that's more his title. So battle level 1 is an initiate, battle levels 2 through 4 are champion. So getting to level 4 doesn't give you the best version of the blessing, it just gives you the next version of the blessing, with battle levels 5 through 8 or hero giving you the second best available, and at levels 9 and 10 you are considered a lord, and then you have the best version of all of your abilities. By the way, you will gain new abilities to add to your holy book. You're not going to be stuck at 3 the entire time. If you can reach battle level 2 with the warrior priest, you'll gain an additional ability, a 4th blessing to add to your adventures. This climbs here and there as you progress through the battle levels, and at battle level 10, as a lord, you will have 9 blessings, and you can use 3 of them per turn, or attempt to use 3 of them per turn. All in all, I think that the Warrior Priest is going to make an awesome addition to my growing collection of warriors, and definitely one that I'm going to try playing in a campaign. And I would actually love to build a campaign with these 4 characters. These were the first 4 that I wanted to get for Warhammer Quest. Chaos Warrior first, followed by the Witch Hunter, followed by the Pit Fighter, and then the Warrior Priest. I actually wanted to get the Warrior Priest first, or at least before the Pit Fighter, but I had opportunity to get the Pit Fighter at a pretty good price. I don't always let my wallet decide things for me, but this was one of the times I made an allowance. I only have a few more of these to collect, but I have a strong feeling that the Troll Slayer Dwarf is going to be the next one that I review. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. I would appreciate any and all such comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a great rest of your day, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.